The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the darkspawn into our world.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first installment of the Retrospective on this channel. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and this is just going to be an analysis and review and possibly just, really a retrospective of beloved characters that I liked and characters that I fondly remember whenever I play or think about those games. To be completely honest with you, I got this idea and I wanted to start doing this because of watching videos from YouTubers like TKS Mantis, Ghost Charm, and Avarti on YouTube. So I hope you guys like this, and today on our first installment we introduce Duncan from Dragonage Origins 1. A little background on Duncan before we get started. Now, I just want to note that I've never actually read the books or comics or anything. I know a little bit about the lore. I'm not like a huge lore head on Dragon Age, but Dragon Age Origins was just my favorite game, and I do know quite a bit about Dragon Age Origins and DragonAge Awakening and 2. I knew a lot about the lore there, so we're just going to kind of stick with the games. But I am going to reference some of the books right now when I'm talking about his background. Duncan was born in High Ever, which actually is on the coast of Ferelden, but I'm assuming because he was on the coast, that's why he spent most of his time in Orlais in the Free Marches. Because when his parents died, he found himself in the streets of Val Royeaux, which is the capital city of Orlais. I believe the Chantry of Orlais is actually located right there as well, which he actually wasn't a good dude in the beginning. He was actually a pickpocket. He wasn't obviously the noblest of characters. He, assaulted people, possibly murdered people, stole from people. I mean, just to survive, just to get what he wants. I mean, nothing really against him. He just had to survive because he was just a boy. His parents were gone. But he does find himself in a predicament when he confronts a man. He's not sure who this man is, but he attempts to steal a ring from him. He's trying to get his next meal, and he gets in a scuffle with this dude and essentially kills him. He gets arrested, and the commander of the Grey Wardens of all things comes to see him, and he's kind of like, oh no, like, what am I gonna do now? Like, and actually she's sad because you're gonna find out that was actually her husband that he killed, but she's sad, but she's like, hey, why don't you come and join the Grey Wardens? You're obviously you must be pretty tough. You killed my husband. But he doesn't really want to do it. He actually really doesn't want to do it. The Grey Wardens don't like him. He denies the right of conscription, but they kind of force it on him. They force him to become a Grey Warden. He doesn't really want to be a Grey Warden. He tries to run away. And then they finally tell him the story of like what actually happened, that he was stealing the ring from her like husband or her fiance or whatever. They were about to be like married, and that it like kind of broke his heart that he kind of ruined that he kind of he killed her husband, he killed her boyfriend that had like a ring, and they were about to get married. So he swears his fealty to her, which is kind of strange but understandable. He swears his loyalty to her. He feels bad. He feels remorse for what he's done. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit because that was just kind of the spark notes from the book, and we're just gonna kind of get to like up to the point where we're at now, so I can start to where he's actually in the game. Now, before the game starts, he actually, obviously, he is travels back to Ferelden, And he's traveling with a group of Grey Wardens. He's trying to recruit people. He's, doing his Grey Warden thing in Ferelden. He's, a commander now. He runs across a blood mage, and there's actually some Templars that are chasing him down. He runs into this scuffle that's going on, and all the Templars are fighting each other, and the blood mage is essentially winning this fight until a Templar that we know, known as Alistair, our friendly Templar Grey Warden that accompanies us through the entire game of Dragonage, he actually sneaks up behind this said blood mage and impresses good old Duncan. And Duncan decides, hey, this guy should be I think this guy should be a Grey Warden. Now, to fast forward a little bit again, we're going to jump to the beginning of Dragon Age Origins. Now, I know it seems like I'm jumping around a lot here, but to be completely honest with you, there's not like a ton of lore on Duncan. Some others may disagree, but Duncan was only in like the couple books that people wanted to do backgrounds on him, and he was only in Dragon Age for maybe an hour or 2 hours of gameplay. He's just like the first character you see on screen when you're like really playing this game. When you start playing this game, if you never opened it up before, boom, there's Duncan. You see him. He's there. He's on screen. You're like, wow, who's this cool dude? He's apparently a Grey Warden. So in reality, if we're really just going based off of games, there isn't too much to go off and base off of Duncan. But from what I've said previously, here we are in the beginning of Dragon Age Origins, from everything what I've told you. Obviously, some stuff's going down. The Darkspawn are coming back. This is obviously well known in the lore. This is like the 5th Blight. There's speculation in archdemons returning. Obviously, the Grey Wardens of Orlais had a good reason to place Duncan in Ferelden. They put him there for a reason, with a station of Grey Wardens for obvious reasons. There's something coming. They sensed it. They knew something was coming. And that's where we get to, and right in the beginning of the game. He is talking about the Chantry. He gives us this beautiful little excerpt in the beginning, gives us a little like delve into the lore. If you've because this is a brand new game, like when it came out, nobody, like, there was no other Dragon Age Origins, like, really, like, this was Dragon Age Origins. So we're getting this little excerpt in the beginning of the game. He's explaining the Blight, what's happening. He's explaining the first Darkspawn, essentially, like, giving you a backstory of what's essentially about to happen in the game. He is your focal point. He is your introduction to, okay, some stuff's about to go down, and I'm kind of glad that there's these Grey Wardens, and this dude Duncan here is gonna help us out. I guess he's gonna train us or something, or he's gonna do something. And he gives this there's this beautiful little excerpt in the beginning, and then you have Duncan. He's walking up, and you already got this good impression of him. Like, he's like, oh no, my brothers have fallen in battle. And he turns around, and then there's these Darkspawn behind him, and he whips out this cool thing, and it's just cool. Like, if it's 2009 graphics, but you're like at the height of the period, you were like, wow, like this guy's cool. Like, I hope Duncan's on my team, you know. So I'm sure some of you are wondering, why him? Why Duncan? He's just some ancillary character in the beginning of the game that you see for an hour to 2 hours tops. And, you know, what's so special about him, you know? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Honestly, he's just a cool guy. You see him in the beginning of the game, and he draws you into the game, sort of. He was part of the advertisements for the game, I believe. He has this cool monologue in the beginning. He kind of draws you in. When you talk to him and try to ask him questions about lore, he's respectable, he's nice, he's kind to you. It doesn't matter when you start as the player character if you're a human or a dwarf or an elf, or if you're a commoner or a king's son or just some mage. He doesn't care. He will talk to you and have respect for you and your people no matter what. And that goes for the people that are Grey Wardens and people that aren't Grey Wardens for him. He genuinely has respect for anyone, and if you're fighting on his side, he has the utmost respect for you. And he just seems like a kind guy, the voice of reason. In some of the situations as the player character, when you meet him in the intro, he sometimes intervenes, or is just that guy who seems that wise character that has seen a lot of things in his time, and he's just like, no, guys, please stop, like, let's see this from a different point of view kind of person. And his determination to destroy the Darkspawn and become a hero and to save the world is just really magnificent. I mean, all around, to me, Duncan, for just an ancillary character, is an amazing character with an amazing voice actor. And to be honest, when he goes and you see the scene where he dies, it's really heartbreaking. And you really wish that this character, you would have seen more of this character. And I just hope that everyone else who played this game has the same sentiment as well, that Duncan was a part of this game. It wouldn't be Dragon Age Origins if Duncan wasn't in the game. He seemed like that dude who cared, who genuinely wanted to just save the world, and his time card was just punched at a improper time. Dragon Age Origins was one of my favorite games when I was like 12, 13 years old. And honestly, whenever I think back on the game after playing it for 14, 15 years, the first thing I think about is Duncan. He's the first thing that pops in my mind. I'm like, wow, that guy was kind of cool. And I don't know what it is about it, but I'm sure all Dragon Age Origins fans can agree, and I hope they do, whoever has played this game, that whenever that death happens, whenever that scene comes on and you see King Kalen and you see Duncan just getting totally, like, they're battling it out, and then they get slaughtered, and you see it's all Terran Logain's fault, and you're like, he betrayed them, and you just see the look on his face after he's looking at King Kalen. King Kalen's totally for another video, by the way, but like, he was a great character too, just for being in the game for like 30 seconds. But I just think everyone could probably agree, definitely, that when that scene comes on and you see Duncan just finally in realization that Terran Logain has betrayed me. My friends, my recruits, they have succeeded in their mission, but Terran Logain has turned his back on me. And I just think that, I hope that, I see some Dragon Age Origins fans have definitely gone through playthroughs and saved Terran Logain, but every time I go through that game, I kill him as soon as I possibly can. I hate that guy. As soon as I go into battle, I hope everybody else is similar, and everybody's just like, for the Grey Wardens, for Duncan! Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. That's about it. I really hope you guys like this. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.